Let's check out the grid. It's full reverse, so it puts Richard Mork alongside Troy Dontis on the front row, Wilson and Kiss behind them, and then the fast guys start, and they're going to be peeling their way through this field. I imagine Chris Walton, Carl, will be as aggressive as ever.
He loves these.
Very good afternoon to our commentators, Chad Naylon and Carl Reindler, for race 2 of the V8 Utes.
Thank you, Jess. Stay warm down there. It's very cool, blustery, breezy. Let's check out the grid. It's full reverse, so it puts Richard Mork alongside Troy Dontis on the front row, Wilson and Kiss behind them, and then the fast guys start, and they're going to be peeling their way through this field. I imagine Chris Walton, Carl, will be as aggressive as ever.
He loves these reverse grid races, as we saw at Symmons Plains only a couple of weeks ago. Some very quick guys off the back of the grid there. Obviously, Kim Jane had a great run in that first race. Craig Donnis very fast, and also Nathan Pretty in the mix as well.
Yeah, Kim Jane winning that first race will start on the last row. Here he is, alongside the bestjet.com entry, car 23, Luke Spalding. How unlucky is this dude? I mean, all he had to do was finish the race and he would have had pole for this one. Now he has to start last.
It is unfortunate for Luke, but he's got some quick guys around him. Hopefully he can latch onto the back of one of these guys and you know, as they're passing others, you know, capitalise as well.
A little bit of a backstory with Luke as he brings up the field in Luke Spalding. Just checking. That's one way to talk on the radio.
I think he's got some communication issues at the moment.
No, he's all right. He's just giving us a wave, just changing radio stations in there. You can actually listen to the track commentary here. Maybe he's just queuing that up. So yeah, Luke Spalding will start last. He was meant to have pole position for the reverse grid race down in Tasmania, but he's in a hell of a cancer battle at the moment, Luke Spalding, and missed that race because of medication that he was on. So he's missed out on 2 opportunities to start from pole position. He deserves one. Hopefully the next round will get it happening.
I love this guy's just positive attitude.
Yeah.
He's doing what he wants to be doing, and battling the cancer as well, as you say.
Another great story, the pole sitter here, Troy Dontis, didn't even know he was going to be racing this week. Tuesday, 5:30 p.m, they booked the flights to come over after Bruce Oaklands, who is a racer in this category, threw them a lifeline. So that is the story behind the guy on the front row. He starts alongside Richard Mork. Neither of those two have ever raced here until this morning. It's going to be exciting. And what on earth
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Talk about a jump start. That's probably the biggest jump start I've ever seen.
I thought it must have been the formation lap or something. He was going so early.
So usually the penalty for a jump start is a 5-second penalty. I reckon he's got 5 seconds on the field at the moment.
Maybe it's a good tactic. Either way, we're racing. You can get it all in the Utes. You never know what's going to happen. Barbera to the top of Dontis.
Round the outside of Southern Loop.
That was
pretty
a good
brave
move.
on cold tyres.
We're all lost for words right now, and that's unusual in the commentary box. Either way, we're racing.
Well, there's a great battle for second and everywhere else behind, but for Richard Mork, he's got a 6-second lead. 6 seconds at the moment, so I don't know what will happen there. It's up to Gary Baxter to make some decisions.
Yeah, he is our driving standard observer. He observed some pretty standard driving at the beginning of this one.
To all advising false start from car 44 will be receiving black flag. Car 33 false start will have a post-race 5-second penalty.
Okay, so there's the confirmation. So you're right. Black flag, he's going to get a 5-second post-race penalty. But like you suggested, his lead is 5.3 seconds. Maybe that was a tactic.
You know what? You've got to know the rule book as a driver, and he clearly knows the rule book very well.
Oh no, Jeremy Gray's gone off.
It's a long way out. Jesus, carnage everywhere. I'll tell you what, these reverse grid races always produce some
storylines.
Some storylines.
This could be one of the greatest plays in Ute history. You know the rules, you get a 5-second penalty for a jump start. All right, just make sure you go before 5 seconds. Oh, that's a
that
spot
could
to
have
cop
ended badly.
A bump between Walton and Cedars, but they both continue on. The pole sitter Troy Dontis has a bit of a snotty nose. The right front of that bumper hanging down badly in the Oakland's built entry.
I just wonder if Chris Walton's still got some issues with straight line speed. He's just getting hounded out there as we see Craig Dontis get past him round the outside, doing it easily.
Oh, that's wild. Okay, there he goes. I'm off, boys. Catch you later.
I'm still lost for words. I've never seen that ever.
could be the best start to a race I've ever witnessed. It's just awesome. You're going to get a 5-second penalty? All right, I'll just make sure I get more than a 5-second head start. Dontas fighting away. This is for position 8th here in Cedars. They've caught Mork. He's been brought back to the field already. Nandy Kiss is hanging on for dear life here inside the top 5 as well. He's doing a really good job this weekend. He ran with the leaders for a long time in that opening race in treacherous conditions. Hansford's got his way to the front.
Kim Jane fastest in the first sector at the moment, so he'll be coming through very quickly.
Oh, Kiss missed a gear there. And he gets
too wide through the hay shed. This is going to be interesting because it's not a flat-out corner on these things.
Oh, they sorted out. Kim Jane still trying to work his way through this grid. We love the reverse grid races. Full reverse grid, this one. Flip the whole field.
Kim just looks so laid back every time he's driving this car, no matter how well-behaved or ill-behaved this thing is.
It was a little bit ill-behaved across the top there.
Oh, around the outside of turn 11. That's...
Oh, he's asking for trouble, but...
He's got it done. That's impressive. You know, the track at this stage in the weekend, he's getting a drive-through for it.
So he's coming into the pits. We heard it was going to be a 5-second post-race penalty. I thought that's what I heard.
It might have been for someone else. Maybe there was someone else that jump-started.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I would have jump-started if I saw him take off in front of me.
Well, the sign was being held out, time penalty 44, which is Mork. Either way, we're still running. Dontas to the inside of Kiss, gets through. We're yet to see Walton come firing through yet. Gee, Jane's probably the big winner here. He started off the back row, he's up to 5th. Confusion reigns at the island. Oh, a bit of a push.
Push and shove going on there. I'm really surprised not to see Chris Walton really making his way through the field like he did at Simmons Plains only a couple of weeks ago.
So there goes Dontas, suffering from that lack of front-end grip.
Oh, this scares me a little bit at Phillip Island. You exit too wide at turn 1. If you're carrying enough momentum, you can cut straight across the road. We've seen it before in V8 supercars.
Kiss had a bit of a moment there in the background coming out of turn 4, didn't he? And now Luke Spalding's caught up.
David Dewall advising car 17 is also false start. Will be receiving a post-race time penalty of 5 seconds.
Oh, that's the leader. It's Mason Barbera, so he's got a 3-second advantage. He needs to run away from his teammate and build a 5-second gap. So what we have finally figured out here is that car 17's got a 5-second penalty. Car 33, Steve Wilson, has a 5-second penalty. Richard Mork got black flagged, which we would have thought would mean expulsion from the race potentially, but he's back out on the circuit.
Just a drive-through penalty, I'd say, for Richard Mork. As for the others, I think we're so caught up with the big jump start. Exactly as I said, everyone's seen Richard Mork jump start and thought, have I missed the start completely? This is before the red lights had even come on, so...
You know what? You've got a co-driver race coming up at Sandown. I dare you to try that one out. See if you get away with it.
I'll touch up on my my rule book knowledge and see if I can get away with it.
Here we go with Andrew Fisher and Kim Jane down at the Southern Loop.
I like the little, the sort of miniature plot that's starting to happen in there. Mason Barbera obviously trying to bridge that 5-second gap that's going to be added to his time at the end. For him, it's just head down, focusing on the job at hand, trying not to make any mistakes and just keep bridging that gap to the others behind, and he's doing it, 10th of a second a lap.
Okay, where's Barbera? He's on the left-hand side, second car back.
This is super slow-mo at the moment.
Super slow, actually. So very hard to tell on our Yokohama replay what the go was for Barbera. And Nandy Kiss, we said he was having a bit of a moment out there. So, he went off at turn 3, let alone turn 4. He had a bit of an Alex Kremer moment.
It's just excursions going on left, right, and centre. I feel like we're back at Friday practice again, Chad.
I feel like I'm at the Speedway watching a demo derby or something. It's just been chaos in this one so far. But the cream does rise, doesn't it?
Nath Pretty up to P2. The quiet achiever out there.
He's putting together a really good championship here. So Pretty has got around Hansford, and that could be effectively for the lead of the race after the 5-second penalty gets handed out to the leader, Mason Barbera. So This could have a big effect further down the line.
Saying that, Mason Barbero, I should say, has got green sectors. He keeps getting faster and faster. So now that Nate Pretty's into P2, he's just going to try and maintain that distance, that gap.
On board with Dontas as he rips another gear.
Jeez, he's got some momentum here.
Got a huge toe off the back of Fisher and Cedars, his teammate. Back to fourth gearer. He wants the top. We've seen a few guys try it this weekend. Oh, that is bold.
That is some awesome stuff there by Craig Dontas, and he's got it done. Round the outside of turn one. That gets harder as the weekend progresses. There's a lot of tyre marbles out there on the exit of turn one, so good on him for having a go and getting it done.
We've seen that a few times this weekend already, particularly today. There's been some great moves in Formula 4 and also in the Utes. I wonder if we've got one like that in the V8 supercars lined up. Any moves around the top at turn one are brave. Kim Jane, what a weekend he's having, pole position as well as that race one win. Here it is from onboard Andrew Fisher's point of view. He saw Cedars go, he was looking in his mirrors the whole time.
He must have got a terrible run onto the straight to let by two other Utes. Isn't that great racing? Again, very similar to the start of race one this morning that we saw wing mirrors colliding.
Trust, experience.
Respect, experience, all of that comes into play.
Skill.
Yeah, that too.
A huge amount of skill. 3.2 seconds is the gap now between Barbera and Pretty. He needs to find 1.8 seconds in 6 laps. So by my dodgy math skills, he needs 3/10 a lap on Nathan Pretty. That is not going to be easy. Back on board with Kim Jane. Driving like the veteran that he is this weekend. Over 250 starts in this category. Back onto the front straight. Ripple strips send that big shudder through your body. He's tucked in behind Ryan Hansford.
Geez, you weren't kidding about that 0.3 of a second slipstream you can get in one of these things. He is just drawn in so close behind Hansford there.
Back to fourth gear for turn one. Back to third for turn two.
No doors open at turn two. Saying that he's gone pretty wide. Me in his shoes right now, I'd be lining him up for a big dive bomb into Honda hairpin.
That's in 2 corners time. We go through Stoner corner, turn 3.
Up to 5th gear. Well over 200 k's an hour through that corner. Probably a little bit too far back to have a big dive into Honda.
How good's the old school H pattern shifting back to 2nd gear? None of that.
I do miss that in V8 supercars.
None of that sequential stuff. No paddles like you see in other categories around the world. Troy Dontas, what a shame that is for the Oakland's built team. And good work, Bruce Oakland, throwing him a lifeline to come racing this weekend. And the pole sitter in the pits. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the fight is still alive. Mason Barbera has not found any more time on the leaders. That's the gap. He needs it to be 5 seconds, not 3 seconds. Nathan Pretty is going to win this race if it stays the way it is.
At the moment, Mason Barbera would drop back to P5, I believe, based off this. If he can get another 2 or 3/10 of a second on where Dave Cedars is on track. Saying that, Dave Cedars has just actually broken the lap record at a 49.8, so they're into the 49s now, getting that little bit closer to the qualifying times that we saw earlier today.
It's been a lot easier conditions on the drivers for this race. That thing of Walton's is cumbersome this weekend. It's seriously lacking for horsepower, isn't it?
The car itself on track doesn't look that bad. It looks balanced. It's not doing anything wrong. He's just battling for straight line speed.
So maybe an engine change due for that car. And pretty hard to get that done in a weekend, especially if you're away from home for that team. So he's just having to fight, consolidate, get as many points as he can. And hopefully he'll still be in that championship battle. Mason Barbera, the race leader. But effectively, it's Nathan Pretty because we're going to get a 5-second penalty for this kid out the front. What a shame. He's still looking for his first race win. Oh, big lock up for Jane. And Cedars and maybe Dontas. Oh, no, Dontas taps the back of Jane. Hang on to it, Kimbo. Good save. Thunderdome experience. That was awesome. What a save.
I thought it was the last, after the checkered flag celebration there, the way he was hanging that thing out.
That was cool. Car and driver experience, car control. Just, that was one tactic to get out of that, and that was use the loud pedal. That was noise to get out.
There's not going to be much left of those tyres for the final race.
Talk us through this moment again.
Oh, front left locked up, really easy to do. He's he had a bit of contact there.
A little bit.
Not much that Craig Donnis could have done. I would just call that a careless mistake, and rightfully so. He's waved to say sorry. Nothing intentional, nothing personal.
We're just racing, man.
Just an honest mistake.
But how about the save, though?
That's great. Love the super slow-mo there, Kim.
Very cool. Let's have, here we go, on board. Talk us through this.
So, locked the front left, really easy to do down into Honda. Tried to cover his line just as Craig's come in. Bit of wheel work. This is, Kim's been doing this for years, so.
That was awesome. He just balanced it, didn't he? Wasn't full throttle, wasn't no throttle, just rode it out. A little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, I got this.
Kim, a lot of these guys should be out there with Matt Mingay and the stunt team.
That was amazing. And now this is the sort of stuff Chris Walton wants to see. Fighting with one hand behind his back, but if these two are going to push each other around like that, it brings him back into it.
You've got to be in it, and he's right there in the mix at the moment, right on the tail of Craig Donnis.
Back at the front, here we go, Hanson on the defensive here, Cedars, after picking off Jane, wants a piece of this. Oh, and again.
That was deep.
He said sorry the last time. Do we get another wave?
Oh, you don't want to be out there. It's so slippery on the grasscrete.
Kim Jane's going to be thinking...
Oh, he's going backwards quickly. He made such a strong run through the field, and now he was as high as, I think, third at one stage, and he's now back to P5, P6.
From onboard Donta's point of view, wasn't going to die wondering.
Lined him up. That's a well-executed move there. Kim's just turned in a little bit too aggressively. Nothing these units can't handle, right?
Yeah, it's all right. Door-to-door contact. Jeremy Gray still trying to catch up with these guys after going off on the opening couple of laps. That gap, it's starting to get out a little bit. Nathan Pretty now 3.7 seconds off. Remember, it needs to be 5, make that 3.8. Can Mason Barbera find 1.2 seconds in the last couple of laps? If he wants it, he better put his head down and drive like a madman. That time through, he was 0.4 of a second up. It's not going to be enough. He needs Cedars to catch Pretty and have a race for the second position. Oh, that's nice from Cedars. That's beautiful. Up the inside, backs it in, catches it, and it takes third, which could be second after the adjusted times. If Cedars can catch Nathan Pretty, Mason Barbera is a chance of winning this race. It's what he needs right now. It's Kim Jane, still with work to do. Chris Walton now wants a piece of him. He's still up on points. He'll still have pole for the race 3 tomorrow.
These guys start fighting. It's only 1.1 seconds now that Mason Barbera actually needs, so he could get this done. Saying that, if he doesn't, you've got 3 guys in a row. He's probably going to finish in 4th place.
Yeah, good point. Or it's not just a battle for the lead here, is it, for Barbera? He's going to fall a long way off the pace. He needs the Mango Credit Union to make a fight of this.
Don't know how much of a fight these guys are going to put on, to be honest. They're both got the championship in mind.
Yep.
It's early days. There's still a lot of rounds to go.
If Nathan Pretty loses this spot, he won't have a front row start tomorrow. So there's a little bit up for grabs.
There's a little bit up for grabs.
Geez, we've seen Hanson do that so many times. Oh, yeah, he's going defensive here, Pretty, so this is going to open the door. Barbera's lead now, 4.3 seconds. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Last lap next time by. The young star out of Bundaberg needs to find half a second on this battling pack. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be a real squeaker. Last lap. These guys fighting for second, or maybe first. We don't know. Here comes Cedars to the inside.
He's got a great run. There's not much Nate Pretty can do. Except for go around the outside.
Oh, we're going to hang tough. And this is definitely going to help Barbera out.
It's actually 5 seconds, 5.1 seconds. If he maintains it for the rest of this lap, he's going to take the race win.
Oh, this is it. This is what he needs.
This could not come at a better time.
This has gone from being the fight for the lead to the fight for second. Oh, someone's just had a big off in the background. We could hear it. But this is the battle. Wow, these two have been side by side for 3 corners. That is awesome. And
Yes.
Hansford pushes pretty back a spot.
And that lead has gone way over 5 seconds now. He's just got to lay back and finish the lap, and he's got the win.
Can we take a second to appreciate how seriously cool that was?
2 by 2 for 5 corners.
This is wild. Now we're still going. Nathan Pretty's going to do this entire lap with a car outside his door. Or is he? Not through the hay shed, he's not.
That is such a fast corner through the hay shed.
Conceders find 0.4 of a second in the last sector to win this race. That's the scenario. Mason Barbera needs to just keep chewing. Oh no, contact for third. Hansford's going to go sliding out of contention. Good save.
She's lucky for Nathan to get away with that as well.
It's 5.2 seconds the gap between the leaders. It's a time race. It's like watching WRC. He's going to be first to the flag. It's 5.3 seconds at the moment.
Now it's a waiting game.
What's
at the moment he thinks he's won it, but Cedars is on a...
5.1 seconds. He
1/10
wins
of
it
a
by a
second.
10th. Wow. The second cousin of Hector Barbera wins the race at Phillip Island. There's something very fitting about that for all you MotoGP fans out there. That is awesome. Mason Barbera cracks through for his first win in the Utes, and he had to do it the long way by getting a 5-second penalty. We heard this big lockup happening in the background. This is what it was. Fisher going off and wide, all on his lonesome. Oh man, that's not right.
That wasn't like he was leaning on it. It wasn't pushing that hard. Just, I wonder if he's got a major issue with that front left, maybe a flat spot. Here's the order. Mason Barbera taking the win from Dave Cedars. Nathan Pretty in third, holding on. Ryan Hansford fourth, Craig Dontis fifth, Kim Jane went backwards a little bit at the end there in sixth. Chris Walton not doing much in there. Jeremy Gray, Andrew Fisher, and rounding it out, well, Richard Mork on track with his penalty, his drive-through penalty, and unfortunately for Troy Dontis not finishing that race.